joined by Hydration from the Los Angeles Gladiators. First of all, of course, congratulations. First victory this week. Now, you had some tough matches last week, but today you came out firing. What was the focus for you and your team going into this match against the Florida Mayhem?
Last week we were really struggling in our communication and coordination, and that was one thing we really buckled down on after that. So this week we were very ready to not lose and to just win with superior communication.
Right, well, you just won, so I think that worked out just fine for you guys. Now, your Farah performance on Eichenwalde really, really stood out. And I think there was a lot of teams, a lot of players who can't really make her work for them. Can you maybe explain to everyone out there how you managed to utilize this hero to the best of her abilities on this very map?
The main thing was not dying, just constantly LOSing the enemy Farah and not coming closer at all. Because if she's just wasting rockets on me and I'm killing her team, like there's no reason for him to even keep doing that. So that's one thing that I did that made us win that match.
Just not dying. All right, so don't lose, don't die, and then you may or may not be on this stage for a team next year. Who knows? Thank you so much, Hydration, for your insight and for the quick chat. Once more, give it up to the LA Gladiators. And we're now going to break down that game on our analyst desk.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Big win for the Los Angeles Gladiators. They get their third of the regular season. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Puckett alongside Brennan Sideshow. We're going to break down all the action right now. I have to start this one off. It was the Gladiators walking away with another victory. Sadly, another loss for the Florida Mayhem. But let's talk about the win here from the Gladiators. What was their greatest asset today? What role performed the best for you, Bren?
I actually liked how the tanks did clean up their play quite a lot. We talked about how they needed to perform a little bit better in terms of what they were doing, and here you can see a nice little highlight reel of some of the tank plays going on here. But in general, I was very impressed by the way they did clean it up, and Hydration said in that interview just then, they've been improving on their communication. I think that's probably been a big part of why we saw a bit of performance out of Gladiators today.
Yeah, and Florida Mayhem didn't look too shabby themselves. They actually looked a little improved in how they were working with their tanks on a couple of these maps. But Gladiators have an aggressive plan that really makes better use of their DPS in a lot of these situations. So they were able to make a lot of room here for Surefour to go crazy on the McCree. We saw it previously that they're able to dive in and get value out of Asher or Surefour, whoever happens to be on the Tracer, and then Hydration having big performances. And of course, Hydration, the fact that he can also play this tank, the Roadhog, gives them that to work with.
We saw Shaz in the first half there of Junkertown losing on the Roadhog as well. Bren, let's talk a little bit about the other side, or Sideshow actually. So Bren, you called the tanks. Sideshow, you said it was the DPS coming into this match for the Gladiators. Who impressed you as far as the three DPS players?
Yeah, well, Asher did have good performances as we went onto map 2 here. He had some pretty decent play on Tracer, but as Bren highlighted at the beginning, you know, these guys have got ridiculous peaks, and I think we saw when they played against the LA Valiant that these guys can just step it up enormously. And I did like it throughout the whole of the play in this match, the Farah play coming out from the Gladiators. Didn't matter who it was, Hydration, as we just heard in that interview, or Surefour here. I think that Tvik, although he's noticeably, or rather historically known as being a Farah player, did find it pretty difficult to get much done in those Farah v Farah matchups.
I was a big fan in general as well of the DPS cosplay going on by the Los Angeles Gladiators supports. Shaz and Big Goose try to step it up a little bit. Big Goose coming out with some blast kills every now and then. Shaz going over to the Roadhog, as we mentioned as well. So all around impressive stuff.
So Gladiators, of course, probably not in the running for our Stage 1 playoffs, but remember, at the end of all 4 stages, the real playoffs in July are going to happen, and all these wins are slowly going to add up. Before we get to our next match, we have to crown our player of the match for match 2 here in week 4. And our player of the match was going to be Surefour. And then Big Goose going away with his performance on Junkertown despite the loss. Big Goose picks up the most blaster kills on the season for any of the Mercies.
He's the master blaster, Big Goose himself. Mate, if you were impressed with him on Mercy, wait till you see when the Mercy patch kicks in stage 2 and he's on the Lucio as well, because this guy puts on a performance regardless of what hero he's on. And I'm glad he's reclaimed his top spot for the eliminations as Mercy, you know, just getting those kills in whilst he can against the Florida Mayhem.
Yes, and of course, blaster eliminations, as everybody knows, the most important of Mercy statistics. You can tell Bren picked this player of the match, that's all I'm going to say.
I might have had something to do with that, and I also have something to do with this. That's it for this matchup. We got one more to go. On the other side of the break, we're going to see our third Californian team. It's the San Francisco Shock. They're going to be facing off against the Houston Outlaws, who are looking to tie up the Valiant at 5-2. We'll see if they can get the job done tonight on the other side of this break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.